Hello all, welcome to another episode of It's Me. Today we are going to introduce Nick Bahl, who is known as a real estate builder and developer in Australia. More than that, he is very well known for doing life-size events in Australia. Hi Nick, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Shri, how are you?
Good, thank you. Tell us about yourself. Where did you came from and when you arrived to Australia?
Look, I come from a background. My background is from Punjab, and I've come to Australia on 9th of July 1998. I landed with a good friend of mine, and the place I come from is Patiala, and my place of birth is a small village near Ludhiana. It's called Chakar.
Okay.
That's where my mom belonged to, and that's where I was born.
What is the reason behind coming to Australia? What made you to come to Australia?
Look, I'm a mechanical engineer by profession.
Okay.
And when I decided to work in my professional career after my studies, in India, you know how it is, there's no many opportunities back then in 1999. So we had to look for some opportunities overseas, and I had a lot of relatives in Canada. So I applied for Canadian immigration, and all my relatives said to me, if you want to come here and work here, you would have to start fresh, because none of your degrees will be affiliated here.
Okay.
So you're better off studying overseas somewhere, do some course, and then come to Canada. You'll have a better opportunity of working as your career, as an engineer. So that's what we decided. Okay, me and my friend, we decided let's go to Australia, because back then Australia was in the news, and a lot of people were coming to study here. So we came to do a course called Master in Business Administration, MBA, in RMIT. So that's where I enrolled myself, and I decided to come to Australia.
How did you felt after coming to Australia? Is that everything fine, or only you wanted to do something? What made you to find, and what are the challenges you found?
Look, Australia back then was not what it is now. I'm talking 18 years ago, it was totally different. There was no many people which speaks the same language. It was hard, when we came here. It was hard to find a house to start with. As soon as you land here, we were given a 7 days accommodation in a motel in the city, but as soon as it's finished, where do we go? There was no job, there was nothing, so we're not from a very rich family, so parents can support us and all that, because we were in a professional life, and we decided to come here, and the parents, whatever they could do, their best they did, and we had to make our own way, and so it was very hard to find a house. We struggled, a friend of ours helped us, and then that was the main challenges at that time, to find a job, to find a house. And then once you find the job, how do you fit your job into your university hours? You can't miss your school either, because you're here to study. So that was the challenges at that time which we faced, and job and house was a big challenge.
So what did you do at that point of time? So did you
look? You got to take it as it comes. And we as men, we are always up for challenges, because I was not a 18-year-old when I came here. I was 24. Yeah. So at that age, your brain's developed, and you can face challenges, right? So what we did is, we didn't lose heart. We just kept looking, and finally we got the job. A friend of ours helped us with the lease for a unit in Yarraville. So that was my first place where I rented, and it was a good run after that, because slowly you make friends, you find jobs. Obviously, the jobs were not what you are used to doing it, but it's Australia. That's what it teaches you. Everything, nothing is impossible. So we did all sorts of jobs. I did night filling in Safeway, and then we did door-to-door knocking for Primus. Back then, Primus was very famous for internet and phone connections. So there was a lot of jobs which came our way. For 1 or 2 years, we kept going whatever comes our way, and finish our school. And after that, I'm here.
It's been since 19 years?
It's been 18. It'll be 19 years in July. Yeah.
All these years after your studies and all, now many people know that you're into real estate and property development and all. When did you started this? Before that, what you're doing, and when did you started all this?
Look, you know how it is. When you start working, you got to you got to see which way I'm heading, right? When we started back then, 99, 2000, we were doing all these jobs. They were not there for permanent jobs, right? They were there temporarily to get you along, to familiarize you with the country, with the system, how they work, all these people. And believe me, those jobs are very, very important for a new person to come in the country, to interact with people. You need to have interaction with people. That's how you develop those sort of skills to actually grow your business, whatever you go in. Because it's very good to have public interaction with Aussies, with people who have been living here for a long time. And believe me, they're not bad. They're very, very good people to deal with, as long as you are on the same frequency. You got to go on their frequency. What is in their mind? So that's what that job taught us, how to, sales job, how to actually interact with people and everything. That helped us in the career, in further when we started our career. Now, I started my building in 2008.
Okay.
That was the company I formed, Bahl Enterprises and Bahl Homes. And to the reason behind I went through building and all that is because I used to work in a factory called MYM Timber and Hardware. And that's where we used to make trusses, on the jigs, and there was CNC machines and everything. Because in here, all the houses are made out of timber frames and everything. Those frames are prefabricated in the factories to save time and effort, right? So we used to make those frames for the houses from the plans. And I'm very good at plans because of my engineering background. So my boss said to me, look, this is what you're going to do. And I said to him, I am better than what this is, man. I'm a mechanical engineer. You're making me work with the people who are 10th grade here, yeah? But that's fine. I'm new in the country, but give me a chance. I can do better than this, right? So he gave me few opportunities to sell the frames. And then slowly when I started dealing with builders, I saw the builders actually on site, and I met them, few of them. And I always wanted that these people are actually the real people who create those things, who give shelter to people. And it's a good feeling, when you build somebody's dream house and he moves in and he's happy and he always remember you, because when you build somebody a house, you always be remembered. Yeah. And it doesn't matter, you sell a car to someone, you will not be remembered, because house is always remembers. Yeah, Nick built my house, or Bahl Homes built my house. If it's bad, you will be still remembered. So don't forget, Indians or our community is the best to do marketing. Even if it's good or bad, they always market. So that's where I felt like that I should do building, and I should go in this career. And to do that, I actually did my course. I worked hard for it. I worked for Simmons Homes for 4 years. So if you know the suburb Craigieburn, Greenvale, I have built a lot of homes there for Simmons Homes, because Simmons were very big back then, and I worked them for 4 years. Worked for them. And I built maybe more than 250 homes there for them. So that's where I got into building, and then I got my own license, and I've started building for myself. And here I am. I'm doing a lot of my own projects now. So I've changed my sort of business model. I used to do a lot of works, a lot of houses for other people before. But as you say, when you actually get experience and everything, you wanna work hard if you own the thing. And I'm trying to work on that model now, and we're working through it, and it's working because the market is also responding very well.
When you started your business, you had to leave your job and you have to start your own business.
Yeah, it's a funny story.
So, but definitely you might be, it's not that easy to take a decision, when you're getting, 100K, 200K something, the package, and leaving that and coming and starting your own business. Definitely there will be many challenges, and you might be gone through a lot of things in your mind and the activities you do. So did you felt any problem, or just it happened?
Look, my thing come in actually in instance. What happened is I think this is about eight years ago. My grandma passed away, and I had to move. I have to go quickly to India, in December. And I came back. I was working for Simmons back then, and I came back, and I started back again after 1 month. Now, back then we used to get bonuses for jobs, right? And I was the only supervisor for Simmons who was working on per house basis. So when I came in, they didn't actually give me my bonus in full. They said, okay, you only deserve this much. You don't deserve that much, because now you're making a lot more money than what a normal supervisor is making. But that was not the promise when they did the agreement with me for me to go on the per house basis, because I was doing 30 houses at a time and other supervisor was doing 12, 13. Right? I'm good at that. So in managing, right? So the bosses, they said, look, we're gonna give you only this much. I said, all right, if you're gonna give me this much, that's it. Here's the keys. Here's the phone. Thank you very much. So instance, in a day, I left the job and I came home. My wife said, what happened? I said, look, I've left the job. She said, what? I said, yeah. She said, how can you leave a job for such a good, well-paid job? How can you leave it? I said, don't worry. I know what I'm doing. I'll do my own company and I'll start my own company. Yes, I'm gonna face some difficulties at the start, but I have confidence. I'll build it up. Slowly we'll do it. There's no rush. I'm still young. So yeah, that's
But
how I left it.
how much you are earning at that point? Can we know?
Yeah, I was making about 280 grand a year, and I left a job 8 years ago. Yeah, and that was a bit of a challenge to me as well, myself, to prove myself right.
How much time it took for you to start your own company and
Well, it took me about 3-4 months, and in those 3-4 months, I did a show at back then Gurdas Maan show. In those 3-4 months, I had a show there, so I did that show and I made small money there. That kept me going. And from there on, once my company was all ready to go, I built a couple of homes for my friends. Slowly, 2 homes turned into 4 homes, 4 turned into 14. So it's like that's how the role started. And because we were honest at our work, and we had a lot of sort of um, we wanted to grow, and we wanted to put extra effort in the thing, and that's why my wife helped me with the accounts, and I was doing supervision myself, everything, talking to the clients. So with me, it was personal. If you want to build with me, you can talk to me. You don't have to go through 10 different people to talk to me. Back then, that's what the growth corridor worked, and there was no many Indian builders back then. When I started, so I was one of them, and people always prefer same language speaking builder because they can give sort of their they have more opportunity to discuss any changes while they're building and all that, because it's their first time, right? So somebody's got to guide them through, and that's what I always enjoyed, guiding, choosing colors for them. This is what we do every day. And I was glad that they took my advice in some instances, and also even if when they moved in, they always invited me for a cup of coffee and all that. So that's the relation I have. For me, like, you are not a number, job number this. For me, you are Shri. So I was building for Shri. So we made a relation. And from that relation, the work comes back. So you always refer to other people and all that. I never advertised, even in my shows, I never advertised. So that was the growth corridor where I followed and my instincts and did it word to mouth marketing. I believed in that.
but when so you have started came into this building real estate in Australia only. You don't have any roots in back in India.
No, no.
But when you compare with Indian real estate development with Australia, what are the policies or what are the differences you find between real estate back in India and in Australia?
Look, India is a different kettle of fish because of the population, right? You can get away with murder there. Like you can. There is sort of so many things which they're not complying. Complying, I mean to say, the plumbing, the electrical part, this, that. The builder is more responsible for everything, right? But the trades who work on their way through on the building are not responsible for anything with the compliance. They don't have to take the opportunity, they take the things on their head if something goes wrong. Whereas in Australia, everything is compliant, right? From the slab gets poured, there is a surveyor who checks it and all that, and then you got there is plumber, there's electrician. They all have to give certificates of the work they have done. So basically, it's much easier in Australia to build houses, much easier because it's more compliant for a builder. I'm talking from my perspective. That's why it's much quicker because of its lightweight construction. In India, it takes two years to build a house, 2.5 years sometimes, right? That's because it's much slower. It's concrete based construction. It's structurally it's much stronger, but that's if there is proper measures in place to check the structure. So here I feel that it's more sort of compliant and safer to actually go to any builder, because they can't stuff you around. There's measures in place. Over there, people always go for the person who is actually has a good name in the market. They will not go with small people. There's no small builders though exist there. It's always big or there's nothing. Yeah. So that's the difference I find with the builders over there and here.
Property development and building, you're going successful. So you're making your benchmark over there. What is this events? Why did these events come into existence? What made you to think about this, doing some kind of events in Australia? We see that whatever the events you started up with, it's a kind of life-size events. They're not just a small events also. What made you to think of doing this stuff?
Look, if I tell you, if I go back when I came to this country, I mean, I studied my engineering in Nagpur. So not many people know, but I have a very good friend where we used to work together back then. Bit of a modeling here and there, in the engineering college. His name is Sonu Sood. He's one of our good stars now. Obviously, everybody is aware of it. So he's a very good friend of mine. And back then, we were involved in some events there. So it was exciting work, when we did over there. But I never thought that I will do it here. But that was the sort of experience I had to work in couple other events in Nagpur. So when I came to Australia, I saw here that there is a vacuum here where there's not much entertainment. What do you do? You go home, you work. What do you do after that? You play your family. What if you don't have a family? What do you do then? You go and spend money in the bar. You go this. So there must be some sort of events in here where we can go and watch, because movies, they were not all movies were playing here back then, right? So I said there's a vacuum there which can be which can be filled up. So what I did is that back then I had few friends in Bollywood and England. So I did my first show in 2003. That was Stereo Nation, Taz, and we did it in Melbourne Town Hall, and it was a success. I mean, I took a bit of a risk. It wasn't much expensive show, but to put all the production together, everything together, it does cost a lot of money, even back then. And we had a decent crowd, and everybody enjoyed. And I said, look, we can do this. So that's when the event thing started in me. And then again, once you see all that, and slowly I've seen in the growth corridor in about last 15 years, 12 years of my event career. When a person moves in Australia or any country, their first priority is career. They look for a job. They look for a nice job where they can pay their bills, they can have a decent life. And then the second priority, once they have earned enough money and they're doing everything, they look for luxury. They buy a nice car, they will buy a nice house and everything. So after they achieved that part of the life, what's next? What's next is entertainment. And that's where we come in existence. So fortunately, Australia has given everyone that sort of opportunities where they can fulfill these other two opportunities very quick, because it's much faster in here if you work hard, because this is full of opportunities, Australia, full, as compared to the rest of the world. So people who understand that, they take this and they do their hard work, they achieve the first two phases of life very quick. And then the third phase is entertainment, which is never finished. It's never finishing. It's always you step up the entertainment. And that's what we're doing. We're doing small shows, big shows, now a bigger show. And that's what it is all about. So you step up the gas, as the people have deeper pockets. And that's what it is. You know that people can afford it. That's when you go in there. And if you got to do calculative risk, you can't go just. If I would have done bigger shows back 10 years ago, they wouldn't have worked, because people were not ready. They were still in the first two phases. Yeah. So that's made me going into these bigger events now.
So what are the changes you found then, 10 years, 12 years back, and now?
Look, the major change is the actual population. That's what the major change is, and the spending power.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's now the sensation is like with the bang you are coming up with. So what is this show about? How did you make this happen? I'm really interested to know about this, because getting Salman Khan is not a easy thing. Getting his acceptance is not an easy thing. I just want to know what's the background, how you worked out the background, and how you made this possible?
Look, this thing has been in my mind for last couple of years. Since Shah Rukh Khan happened in Sydney, we always thought that this is a country where we can have bigger shows. But there's a thing there, because those people compare us with the rest of the world, so the prices are still the same. They don't charge less if it's Australia, or they charge more if it's America. It's got to be the same. The artist charges the same. So that is where our calculations were, what to do next, and how to bring Salman Khan on board. And it was always, because from Shah Rukh Khan, where do you go? You can't go lower, you got to go higher. That's what we always believe in. You got to go to the best. That's it. First impression is the last impression. You want to do Bollywood, you go to Salman Khan. That's where it stops. And he's a showman. He's a good man. He's a human being which helps everyone. So there's a respect for that person too. So always thought that a person who is respectful is always good to be associated with. And that person is one of the best in Bollywood to be associated as a good human being, because that person is not for money. That person is all about, well, about celebrating life and helping each other. So what happened with the show? I've been planning for last 2 years. I've been talking to the management for about last 1 year very aggressively, and we were coming on terms with the money, and also with the actually people getting involved in the show. Salman Khan had some other issues, as you know, with the legal matters. So we had to sort them out first before he can commit. So there was a lot of other reasons why it took longer than normal to convince him for the show. And then finally he got convinced, and we managed to put all the whole thing together. And he was not sure about that we can handle Australia as a show, but obviously we'll make sure that he's not in any danger in that part, and we'll make sure that the show is success. And by putting Australia, his first territory after 20 years, he's doing a world tour. It is a proud moment for us as well. And I wanted to put Australia on the map of Bollywood, so that people in Bollywood understand that Australia is something. It's not what it used to be 10 years ago. It's grown in its own kind, and there's the government is also very supportive. And there was a lot of movies get shot overseas. Now they're also coming to Australia slowly. So Bollywood is coming in terms with Australia, and I'm glad that this will play a good part in that. And after Salman, you'll see a lot happening after this.
So what are the measures you are taking to make sure that he feels comfortable and get confident on you?
First of all, we got to do the sort of strategy has to be right to do the show. So we had a lot of pre-production meetings from overseas. People came in here. We did a lot of meetings with the hall, a lot of meetings with the hotel, with the logistics partners, all these people, because it's a big show. We want to be fully planned, and we are actually not leaving any sort of unturned stone where we have any surprises. So we are extra careful on that part, and the production is the key. This production which is bringing on the stage when people are there and watching it, it's unreal. It has not happened, and believe me, it's very hard to match it in future as well. Once you see that, it's too good of a production which they have created. Of course, it's going to cost me a little bit more, or our company, but at the end of the day, it's going to be very, very worthwhile for the viewers who will be there watching live in the hall. So that's where it is. It's a show not to be missed by anyone at no cost. If you miss it, you're going to be sorry.
At any point of time, did you felt like when you're doing these shows or events, did you felt like, okay, I might miss, if I get lost into this, what's going to happen? Did you felt fear anytime?
Yeah, well, the fear is always there, but the thing is, you got to have the intention right. My intentions of events is not to make money. Basically, when I started, I wanted to make money, but now the money part is covered by my other business. So what my event is like my internal sort of, you can say, I want to do that for the community, because if I don't do it, there is a vacuum there. So I wanted to fill that vacuum where people have entertainment through me, and I feel proud that I'm entertaining people. If I make little amount of money, I'm happy. I don't have to make millions out of these events, which you never do. I want to make enough money so it keeps me going for the next event, right? If I don't lose much, I'm happy, because what happened is sometimes you lose as well, and I have lost in events. But then again, if we do 4 events in a year, and if you lose in two, you win in two, at the end you haven't lost much. So that's where I work. I work yearly. I don't work. I take it as a business as well. I work yearly. I don't work as per event. So that keeps me going. It just justifies what I'm doing. And plus, if I see when I see the show, everybody's entertained and appreciates what our work, all the community, it makes me feel good. And then it keeps me on a positive note, and I think positive and I work positive in my other business. And it gives me a lot of PR, like my personal relations with other people. That helps me in my building and developing business by creating new friends through entertainment, through events, and also it actually gives me an opportunity to actually entertain the people I am working and I am actually dealing with. So I can actually entertain them at the same time doing business with them. So that's where it helps me a lot.
Now you are getting Salman Khan because he's big star, the next to, whoever it is. Is he your favorite star, or who is your favorite star?
Prabhu Deva is also in there. He's one of my favorites because he's a very good human being. This is what, for me, the person has to be a good human being before he is a good star or someone. Because if I don't like the person as a human being, I don't care how big the star is. Because for me, he's not gonna pay my bills. So at the end of the day, I gotta like it before I present it to people. And that's how I screen them, right? So most of the people who are in there have grown with their whole, with self-grown people, right? There are people in there which I like personally. Prabhu Deva, Salman, they are the people I do respect myself. And if you like them as a person, yes, you can promote them. I don't want to promote someone I don't like. Yeah, with my heart, you know what I mean?
So you were telling before, like you were doing a couple of modeling shows back in Mumbai.
Yeah, yeah. Back in old days, yeah. Not in Mumbai, it was in Nagpur, but yeah, yeah.
Can you tell us something about your college days, or when does that happen?
Yeah, that was in 1995. I think it was back then. We were studying in mechanical engineering in Nagpur. So it was college sort of shows. I mean, we used to do second year, third year competition and all that sort of stuff. We used to do it there. So it was not something major commercial basis, but it was just came facing the camera or the stage in front of other people. That's also good, for your confidence. And plus, it was a bit of a fun. It was more fun than work.
So you did some modeling also. You did modeling course as well?
No, nothing. Like I said, it was not commercial. As I said, it was just for fun basis. We used to do that. That's where we became friends there. Yeah.
Okay. So other than Sonu Sood, do you have any other friends?
I've had a very good friend. We used to go to the gym in Barbarian. It's a Barbarian gym in Nagpur, and the guy's name was Chintu, Devashish, and I get to know after when I saw Gajni, and I saw a documentary. He actually trained Amir Khan for the movie Gajni. So the guy who trained Amir Khan, Devashish Chintu, he's a good friend of mine. We used to go to his gym in Nagpur, the gym called Barbarian. So now he's actually gone to Mumbai. He's opened up a gym there, Barbarian, and a lot of stars come there. And I'm very glad that he did that, and he was good at what he does. Yeah, so that's the only person I would correlate back then, which I knew.
So here coming in Australia, who do you feel like the friends most best friends or?
Look, I'm a sort of person. I treat everyone sort of like friends. I'm a very friendly person, and for me, if I meet someone, I never forget them. Basically, so if I meet them again, I always do. But I do have a close friend circle where my friends also know my family, my kids. So there are a few friends, and that's how it happened. I spoke to for the bunk because it was such a big show, such a big money involved. I obviously don't want to put all eggs in one basket, and I had other things committed. So I went to a good friend of mine. His name is Raj, and he's my partner now in the bunk, Arcade Developments. And I'm very glad that I spoke to him because we are doing a lot of developments together in building and developing. And he didn't even think. He said, "No, Nick, you need me, I'm there." And that's the things which you remember in life. And he's part of me now, and we both doing the bunk. So I do respect all friends, and friend indeed is friend indeed. Yeah.
Somewhere the modeling and all might be, making you think of these events and all. So, do you have any plans producing any movies also?
Not many people know, but I did a movie last year. We produced a movie called Mukhtar Chadda. It's a Daljit's movie, and Daljit Singh is a good star in our community there. Gone to Bollywood now. It's gone a bigger star. But obviously, that movie didn't do that great on the box office. But we actually did the movie. We produced the movie, but then we sold it to Eros. So we made a decent margin and we gave it to them. But we didn't release the movie ourselves. But going forward, I've got some plans now. I am working on it at the moment. A movie with Amy Work, and it's going to be shot in Australia, so it's exciting. And should be starting in April, and the crew is coming next week. Hopefully, we'll do the Reiki and everything, sort out all the locations. And I'm talking to the government as well, so if they can come on board, gives us a lot of help if we can get some grant out of them or get some sort of subsidy on certain things. And we will be producing a movie this year in April, and then there's another movie which we are planning in September. So there'll be two movies we are planning, and one is based in on hockey. So that's something which is upcoming, but that's not finalized yet. Once it's finalized, we'll talk about it more. But yes, there are plans for movie production. Yeah.
Australia is is a very big thing with respect to the nature and all. So, couple of Bollywood movies have been shooted here. There's no doubt. But when compared to other countries, many movies were not shot here. What do you think is the reason behind this? Is there anything that people are not interested in Bollywood, or what?
Look, there's a couple of reasons. Well, the main reason is the government actually doesn't support as much as the other governments do. Because, see, there's a difference. The other governments in Canada, in England, they are more familiarized with Bollywood than Australians because a lot of people have moved in England and Canada long time back. So it's been three generations there. Now they're getting used to Bollywood, right? But whereas we have first generation more like right here, second generation is coming now. So Australia is still new to the field of Bollywood. So the government has to come in terms with Bollywood, how we can help and how do we promote. So this is happening, but it will take time. That was the only reason all the movies were shot in England and Canada because they got government subsidy there more than here. And the other reason was the actually England attracts a lot of audience for not audience, I would say producers for movies because of the short flights. They hate traveling. The stars hate traveling. And in Australia, they're gonna come 14 hours. It's a bit of a travel for them, and that was also Salman's problem to travel that far. So it is their travel is also a problem plus the government. But now that there are direct flights and also there are open subsidies coming up for the movies, you'll see more happening now. You'll see more happening. I think personally. Yeah.
So this is the only problem behind all this stuff.
Yes, the cost. Because if you don't get the government subsidy, Australia is not a cheap country to shoot.
Okay, tell us something about your family. So because being you're doing all this kind of ventures and all into events and all, definitely your family support should be there. Otherwise, you can't put all the things into it. So, tell us something about your family.
Yeah, look, my wife, she's from Fiji. Her name is Serena, and she used to work for Commonwealth Bank. That's where I met her. I went to open the account and opened the permanent account with her. So I'm glad that we did that at that time, and obviously she's given me three beautiful kids, and I've got a elder daughter. Her name is Shana. She just turned 16 last night. So and also have our son, 13-year-old Shivan, and a little Shima, 5-year-old, and daughter, and they keep me busy and keeps her busy more than me. And the support is there. Without the support from home, obviously, happy wife, happy life. That's how it says. And half the battle is won if you are actually balanced and your wife, your family is happy, and they are very supportive so far. And what I've achieved, haven't done anything like that if I didn't have the full support from them from home. Yeah, so very glad that they're in my life.
So you got a love marriage.
Yeah, look, it is a love marriage, and obviously it was meant to happen. And she didn't want to go to Canada because, as I said, I came here to study, and then I was supposed to move to Canada. And my Canada immigration came while I was studying here, and by the time I met her, and we said we're going to move to Canada after I finish my thing. She said, no, we're not moving to Canada because too cold. Obviously, she's from Fiji, and the weather in Fiji is more tropical than Australia. So she never, and plus her family was here and everything. So that then we decided to live in Australia, and I'm glad that I did that because Australia is full of opportunities. And my friend moved to Canada, so obviously he tells me as well that I made the right decision to stay here. Yeah, because more opportunities in Australia than Canada.
So do you have any good when you in your love when you're loving and all? Do you have any good remembrance?
Look, the remembrance was the hard bit was to convince the mom and dad. That was the hardest bit, because when you are here and it's something you're talking a different country altogether. Fiji, Indian girl people or parents do accept, but when the girl is from Fiji, it's hard to make them accept while they are there. So I had to flew them here and have them meet her, and they loved her. As sort of my dad and mom, and that's what give me a relaxed feeling that yes, I'm on the right track. You know what I mean? I don't want to go against the family to go and make myself that way, and I always wanted them to be on my side, and I'm glad that happened. And obviously, that was not a very easy. It was a bit hard to have my friends involved and all that. It was a full melodrama. We had to create to get that sorted first time. So that was the remembrance I have for my marriage and before it happened.
So do you have any incidents that you remember? What you have to do?
Look, incidents was more like my friend. When I introduced my dad. She came to our house, and we all treated her as she's a common friend. And then slowly, when she started coming again and again, my dad said, "Well, she comes every day. What's happening here?" So we had to. Then my friend has to step in and you know slowly get my dad sorted. That she and Nick, obviously they like each other and all that. So my dad said, okay, fair enough. So slowly he got into those terms, but it was a bit of a scene we have to create to make that to happen. And slowly then mom has to be convinced and all that. So that was the drama. Which after that it was all smooth, because once the family is on your side, then we got married here, and then we had to go married in India, the big family wedding, and here we just small wedding we did between six of us, and it was that was also fun. And the things to remember, we used to party, every night at my place in Yaroville, small unit, but we used to have party there. He used to come cook for us, so it was all bachelors there, drink, party, dance, always fun. Yeah.
When you're telling on these incidents, which part of life you enjoyed more? Or is that part, or now what you're
Look,
traveling?
old is gold, as I say. That part was much more fun
Because
because there was no.
I'm seeing the
Yeah,
happy feeling in your eyes in
yeah,
this
yeah,
moment.
yeah. That was very fun because there was no responsibilities. There was nothing. You just get up in the morning. You don't care what you want to do. You just go to work, come back, party, and that's what it is. Everyday party. What else you gonna do? If you like to listen to good music, eat good food, socialize with good friends, and go out to see new bars, new restaurants, everything, and that's what we used to do. Go for a drive, see Australia, go to Great Ocean Road, go there, go Lakes Entrance. So it was good fun, because there was no much to be committed to, and that part of life is always good. Why they say student life is good? Yes, there is workload of studies and all that mumbo jumbo, but there's no responsibility. That's why you got to live that life. Very. I always say that live your life, because when the responsibility comes on you, you gotta have balanced life. You can't have that much fun which you used to be. So obviously, compare. That was good. Yeah. If I go back, I always think that yes, we had a lot of fun. We do have fun now too, don't worry. But it's much more limited than what it used to be. Yeah.
So coming back, so if I ask you which part of job you love more, whether you're the business, real estate, development and all, or the events what you're doing, which part of the job you love more and enjoy more doing?
Look, in events, sorry, in I will go to development and building, because building is lot to learn every day. It's not that it's finished. Yeah, you are a builder and that's it. Because you got to go with the trend. What's going on? What's other people doing? What are the demands of people nowadays? What they expect from you? So you have to match that expectations if you want to survive in the market. It's a little bit hard. So there is gaps there where look, what we are doing in our work at the moment is more development than concentrating on building houses only. So we are into land where we want to do. My thing is, my next, what I wanted to do was just to do in land development, where I can get 100 acres of land and we can cut into lots and give it to people of our own community. Make retirement village where people who will retire or who will actually want to live together, few friends, when they retire, we can create a nice gated community for them, like the other communities have done, close to the temple and gurdwaras and all the places of worship, where they can go walking distance to that. They don't need to drive a car, or it's a sort of that's where we want to do in building. That's where I want to go. And in events, like I said, it's always you gotta step up the gas. And well, I'm doing it at the moment. I have stepped up this part in the Bollywood game, and the next step will be, if I look for something bigger than this, will be to host awards. Some sort of awards. If I can host here, and that'll be great to bring maybe 50 celebrities, instead of 5 or 7. So that'll be the next step going forward.
Apart from this development on the events, in what are all the activities you are involved in, and what you do think about any community related activities or whatever? So are you related in any other?
Yeah, look, we have an organization. Our chairman is Dr. Virk from Sydney. It's called ISA, Indian Australian Strategic Alliance. So what that does is basically connects Australian government to the Indian government through businesses. So we have a lot of business people on the actually association which has been created. I'm also I'm executive member of that association, where we create opportunities over here and fly people from overseas, from India, to give them opportunities here, and vice versa. We fly people from here to India and give them opportunities there. So this is where we can connect two countries together, and we have some sort of roots going in there, so our children can be connected as well through that. So that's the organization I'm working with. I'm not actually I'm not connected with any political organization or this or that, but I do support Liberal, because the only reason I like their policies for businessmen. And the other activities which I do is, I love cricket, and I do have a cricket you know association where I do work, like support them. They are they're called uh, the friends. They have opened up a club in Thomastown. I used to play for them, and but with family commitments now, I don't play for last 3 years. But I did play about 10 years cricket, so I love cricket and do get associated with cricket still.
So you are into entertainment, like your hobbies are cricket, playing cricket, or what else you do for enjoyment?
Look, I love going out and have a drink with friends and family, and do like traveling. I'd like to see every year we might have 2 or 3 holidays with family. I'd like to see new places where get to see what other people are doing in the rest of the world, how they enjoy themselves. So I want to see that, right, and enjoy the way they enjoy, and feel that way. And because you only live once, you got to do it. So traveling, I do like to go on holidays, and I do love my cars. I like to drive a nice car and try to change it every 2 years. And this is what it is, because when you are living in a country where you can drive a good car, you must do it. So that's the sort of my likings. If you ask me what I would like to do.
So, in traveling, which country you loved most?
Look, I like Dubai. Yeah, I like Dubai because it's there is there's no limitations there in sort of traffic. There's no much traffic, and then the laws are very strict, so there's no crime there. And they have created everything in the desert out of nowhere, and I do like that country, and I gotta take my family there as well. I've been there twice, and I loved it. As if I compare it to the rest of the world, I do like Dubai quite a lot.
If you're asked to stay in India, Dubai, and Australia, which one you choose to?
I would love to stay where I am, Australia, because it's better for the family environment. Dubai, India, I personally think Australia still is better country for families to raise your family and have a safe life. It is full of opportunities for your children as well going forward in their life. You got to see your future too, and still growing country, still growing. So I would prefer to stay in Australia.
So, when coming, you are proven as a successful entrepreneur into business and all. If I ask you, like, what is the success mantra of yours till now, till today, by seeing all these happenings in your life, what do you feel that made you, you know, to be standing here at this point of time? What is the success
Look,
behind it?
it's always work hard, dream big, and that's what we've been doing since I've been here in this country. Just worked hard and dreaming big, and that's what it is, and work towards it. So there is a vision in place. Obviously, you have to have a vision where you're going, and sometimes my vision is shattered, but it happens in life. You can't go very smooth, and that's what it is. But you got to work honest towards yourself. You got to be honest what you want to do, and believe me, no shortcuts. Always go in what you believe in, right? And that's what I've been doing, and it works for me with the family support and with the work, bit of a luck, and work hard, and that's what I've been doing, and it worked. So I'm happy so far, but there is still things which I want to do in my professional career. So I'm working towards them, and hopefully we'll achieve them soon as well.
So within a short span of time, you have made this much of success in your career. So is it the only way that you're telling that all your efforts and dream visions and all made you to be in this position?
Yeah, of course, there's opportunities as well because when the opportunity comes, you got to grab it. And look, the opportunities only knock once on the door, so you got to be willing to take a bit of a risk. And I'm a risk taker, calculative risk taker, but I do take risk, and I took some risk in life, and it paid off, and that's where it keeps you going. Yes, you have lows and ups and lows in business, and that's part of business. Any business you work, you gotta be happy what you are doing, and you gotta be concentrated what you are doing. You can't lose concentration. So if you are going low, you still have to concentrate more. You can't just let go of that. If you let go of that, you finished. So that's where your concentration should be, to actually come out of that situation where you have gone down, why you've gone down, what is the reason behind it, fix it, and then go up again. And that's what the thing is in business. That's why I always tell my kids and everyone I meet that if you are low, just talk about it. Talk to your family, talk to people you believe in, and that they will give you the right advice. You can't hide it from people. You gotta have it in front of them. If you are going low, if you are high, just hide it. Don't tell people that you're doing this because you don't need to. What for? You just keep going on your speed and keep building the empire you want to do. Or if you want to, actually achieve something, work towards it. So I personally think that hard work and concentration is very, very important in any business to be success, and honesty.
All these years, when you're telling you have faced some challenges and you came out of that, can you give some experience which you felt some kind of, at any point of time, did you felt that, okay, why I have left my job and I am doing all this business? Did you, at any point of time, did you get,
Look, I did, but not long ago, but maybe a couple of years ago, where things were not going my way. property market dropped. I had a lot of money invested in property. I don't know if you know or not, but 3 years ago, property was not the same what it is now. And I had a lot of money stuck in property, and that time I felt low because all my money was stuck there. To get the money out is very hard. When the property is low, you don't want to sell it on loss. To sustain it, that's the hard bit, and that's when you feel that way, the challenge to sustain it. So you work harder. So you have to actually cut down on a lot of things which you wanted to do but you don't want to do now because there's money stuck in there. So that's where it was 2 to 3 years ago where I felt low. But obviously, with the support of family and with my hard work and people who I associate with their help, I got through out of there, and property market is much better now. So it was property who makes you money. It's property who can lose a lot of money too. So you got to be careful in property. You just need to know when to enter and when to exit. If you don't know either of them, you don't enter. If you only know one of them, still don't enter. You need to know both: when to enter, when to exit. That's when you make money.
Here I'm reminding something with demonetization in India. In India, with this demonetization, there are many property development companies has gone into loss and all. If I ask you, or if I ask something about that, what you have to say?
Look, it was a great and not great. I would say it was a very brave move to do demonetization for our Modi ji, but he must have thought that comparing the rich people to the poor people, we had a lot of gap. The gap was too huge. There was a lot of rich people and they were getting richer and richer. And there were a lot of poor people, they were getting poorer and poorer. To bridge that gap, the demonetization will help a lot. So what will happen is the richer will lose a lot of money, which they are losing. So they will come down a little bit. And the poorer will gain a lot of money because everybody will be sort of on the radar, yeah? And they will have opportunities where people will not cut their money and people will not pay them cash. So there's a lot of that factor will be bridged, and there will be a lot of middle class which you will see now in India going forward, and like we have in our countries here. Over here we are a lot of middle class, right? So that's why we need to make sure that we actually tell people that it is good move going forward. And I personally think, but still too early to say any effects. Maybe they'll have negative effects on this, but at the moment I can see positives coming out of it. There were negatives, obviously, people struggling to take money out of the banks and all that, but that's normal. I mean, people will get over it.
Is there any impact to Australia with the demonetization, or any people investing here in Australia, or do you see any impacts between these two?
Demonetization actually will help all the overseas countries because people think that their money is more safer overseas than in India because of the property fluctuation market. Yeah, so they can actually put more money in properties overseas than in India. They will prefer. Look, I have few friends who are actually already sort of concentrating on moving their wealth overseas. Somehow they want to buy good properties. If here or Canada or America or London, wherever they have their relatives and they have their assistants, they can get out of as someone to actually buy some good properties, they will move. So demonetization will actually help a lot of overseas markets to sell properties in India.
So coming to you're telling about IPL cricket,
Yes.
right? Is there any chance that we see in future we get connected with IPL as well? Did you have any ideas?
Look, IPL is a brand where they have created a brand. Obviously, it is a big brand now, as you know. So it comes with a lot of effort and a lot of money is involved in it. So IPL, and you need to have a population to support IPL. Look, in Australia, like you've seen, Big Bash has been people have been very supportive, and it's a hit. To me, Big Bash is a hit now. They started okay, but now they've gone to a level where I think it's been happened few times now. People are used to it. Same with IPL, right? IPL is happened I think 7 times now already. So it's been 7 years, and it's grown every day. And it is a brand which is Indian. So obviously, it will stay in India because it's an Indian brand. That's why they want to keep it there. They don't want to move it all around the world. So it's an Indian brand. They want to keep it there, and they want people to come to India to watch it. So this the chances to bring it out somewhere is very dim. But yes, there is something you can take out of that, and you can bring something. And I have thought of a project where I'm working on it, but I'll share it with you. I'm trying to bring two teams from Bollywood. It's called Celebrity Cricket League (CCL). As you know, they happen there. So I've created a brand. It's called Sizzilin Celebrity League (SCL), which I'm gonna in the process of registering and all that. So I'll bring two teams from India. One will be from north, one will be from south or Maharashtra. Yeah, Mumbai. So I've shortlisted two teams. One is Punjab they share because I'm from Punjab. So I'll keep one team. I'll start from there. And one team I've listed is Mumbai Heroes. All these Sohail Khans, Ritesh Deshmukh, all these people, they play for that. Plus, there'll be one or two cricketers in there from Maharashtra. And then same thing, we'll put Punjabis and we'll put one or two cricketers in there just to balance out the team. Rest will be all Bollywood celebrities. So I want to bring them here for a day tournament in Etihad Stadium. Book in two teams here as well. Come up with two teams, and then have a game for Super Sixes. So I'll have a game all during the day, quarterfinals, semi-finals, and final, and have a nice event in the evening in Crown. And Crown is also coming supportive on board. So I'm in discussion with him at the moment. Once something is concrete, I'll discuss with you more. But that's what it's coming in the pipeline for cricket.
And till now, if I ask you, what Australia taught you with all your experience from your starting of your career, if I ask you what Australia has taught you?
Look, Australia has taught me that equality of life, that everybody who's working and who's making money is on the same platform. It doesn't matter you make more money or less money. For Australians, it doesn't. They don't care. For any department, they don't care. You still stand in the queue wherever you go. You can't jump the queue because you have more money. Nah. So that's the equality of life is very, very important, and that actually makes you more humble and make you a better person. That's what I've taught. That's what I've been taught by Australia. Because everywhere else you go, you have more money. You don't have to stand in the queue. You can jump the queue. Doesn't matter if it's a cinema queue or if it's a post office queue. Yeah, but in here, it's different, and that's what it is. And the other thing Australia has taught me is respect life, because Australians, they do respect life. Even if it's a cat who's stuck in a gutter, they will try to do anything to save her. So this is the respect what they have for life. Doesn't matter if it's human life or animal life, and no many countries will show that respect. So yeah, a lot to learn, lot to learn.
What do you believe in? Do you believe in luck or hard work?
Look, if you work hard, your luck will favors you. So I believe in hard work. You got to work hard for luck to favor you. Because you believe in luck, you just sit on your ass and do nothing. It doesn't work. So it's about working hard, and the luck will favors you.
Any experience with regards to this, which made
Well, there is things which we have done in past where we think that we shouldn't have just sit on our thing in events. I'll give you a couple of examples. This last Gurdasman event, we always think Gurdasman is good luck, so we put our accelerator a little bit slow. We didn't work hard. We said tickets will sell themselves, right? For last 2 years, 3 years ago, I did the show, and believe me, the luck didn't favor us. We didn't work hard. It didn't favor us, man. We didn't have many people, and I lost money for the first time in Gurdas Man. So that was a bit of a bad luck. It was not Gurdas Man's fault. He is a good artist. It was our fault. We didn't work hard. So that's where I believe in luck is not what you got to go for. You got to go for the work hard, and that since then I believe in working hard. It doesn't matter if it's Salman Khan or if it's Gurdas Man. You got to work hard on everything what you want to do. Don't leave it to luck.
so when I see Nick as a person, we see like he's a man. He's complete this age man. He don't. You look like you're not fear of any god and all. But when I see at your home, I have seen that all the gods and all you give me. So you believe in God? You are fear of God, or what are you?
Yeah, I'm a God-fearing person, and I do believe in God. Since my childhood, my mom always taught me that way, and I used to be vegetarian at certain age. Obviously, when you go to college and all that, it's something different. They can't control you, and it's always a God-fearing place we are in, and I my kids are the same as my wife, and they all respect what my traditions are back then from home. Like there is certain days we don't eat meat, we don't cook meat at home, so they do respect all that, and we try to believe in what we believe in, and it works. It works and gives you that sort of satisfaction that yes, I am actually going towards God as well at certain days or certain time of my day. I do remember God, and it helps. It helps in concentrating more.
So, what are your plans now? What are your future plans, and do you have any dreams that you want to?
Look, as I said to you, in developing dream, I have dream. I have lived it. I want to do it sooner or later. I want to do a actually estate. I want to cut a estate where I can do. I can say proudly that this estate we built it. I'm talking estate like we have Caroline Springs. We want to do one estate. We can do maybe 500 lots where we can give it all to our communities, preference to our community, and build homes and have street names on our towns. Yeah, all the street names on our towns. We can have a Delhi street, we can have a Mumbai street, we can have a Patiala street, and believe me, it can happen. It can happen. We just have to find the right land and have the right vision, which I have. We're working towards it, and that's my dream in building. I want to do it that way in development in land. And in events, I would like to, like I said to you before, I would like to bring some awards to the table of Australia's map, and if I can do it in near future, will be good. So that's my dream to do that.
Hope to see you soon. You have many dreams with respect to IPL, cricket, or
Yeah, yeah, we've got to live our dreams, like I said to you. Always keep dreaming. There's no harm. You might achieve him. If you achieve him, you'll be happy. If you don't, it doesn't matter. You're dreaming anyway, but you got to work towards it.
When you said that you can get all the street names and all with the country names and also, is there any factor the Australian government they say yes or no?
Look, it does has to have through a council approval and or MP approval, but it's okay. You can get it. I mean, as long as there's no repetition of streets in those areas, they let you do it because you are the one who owns the land. They just have to abide by as long as I mean there are Calcutta streets, there are other streets already existing. Yeah, there are. So it is not a problem. It's not a problem.
So, if I ask you, what is the moment in your life that you felt happy? Yes, I have achieved this. And also, what is the moment that you felt in life? I missed it. I would have achieved this, and you would love to do.
Look, back in 2004, I always loved Gurdas Man in my life. Yeah, back then from overseas. And I loved my dad as well. So what happened is that I did the show for Gurdas Man in 2004, and I invited my dad there. And when I invited him on the stage, and he gave the trophies to all my friends, to me, to Gurdas Man, I felt very proud that I achieved it because I wanted to achieve it. I wanted to see that proud feeling in my dad's eye, and he did say there that I'm proud of my son. So that was a very good feeling and very good sort of inner feeling from his heart to express it in front, and I wanted to do it, and I did it at that time. And for Gurdas Man also, it is for me, it's a very great achievement at that time in my life. And the things which I wanted to achieve, and I wanted to.
You felt regret. Did you felt any regret? Oh, I should have not done this.
Yeah, look, I did a couple of things which it's not actually things, it's like business decision. There's a business decision I did to open a franchise with a friend of mine who started the franchise as a master franchise. and he actually asked me to open a franchise in Melbourne. And I did say yes as a friend. I would do it without doing my research on it. So I did go into that franchise, and it didn't work. I lost a lot of money in that. But straight away I shut it down and I moved out of it. So that was the thing which I regret. I shouldn't have done it. Should have done more research on it. So yeah, there are things which you learn, and sometimes you just gotta do more research on it, which I didn't do it.
So, what would you like? Do you want to tell something to our viewers with respect to your success in Australia? And if I ask you, what you would love?
Look, as I said repeatedly, that you work hard, look, keep dreaming, and learn from others. Learn from others' mistakes, learn from others' activities, learn from others' success, and do be honest with yourself. If you don't want to do things, just don't do it to please someone else. Just don't do it. Just be honest with your own self. You know what you want to do and what you can do. Don't do beyond your limits. You can't go out of your reach. If you go out of your reach, it's not going to work. It's going to affect the rest of the other stuff which you are already doing. So be honest, work hard, keep dreaming. Good country, Australia, to make your house, and live here with your kids and raise your family. People dream to come here, and you are here, so you're lucky, and respect that, and be safe.
Thank you very much, Nick, for having a good conversation, and hope all your dreams and visions come on board as soon as possible.
Thank you, Shay. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Thank you.